Peace. Welcome to Humanity Works Podcast. My name is Jahad Masai Yousef. Welcome to a special presentation. Thank you for all those that tapped in and checked out the prior episode about the unrecognized greatness of black coaches from the 80s and what today's parents can learn from those parents. Hopefully, it was very informative. I know there's a lot of probably more information I probably could have led on and gave in that episode, but sometimes, understand I'm coming straight off the head. I don't have anything written down. I don't have a teleprompter or anything like that. So I do my best to try to retain the things that I want to say in the episode. However, tonight I'm going to present to you two of my favorite collegiate athletes, basketball players that I've known since they were young in elementary school, middle school, high school, AAU, and now amongst the college ranks. And these are two guys that I actually admire, have watched them, love playing. And y'all know how the AAU prices is nowadays, man. Back in the day, you pay $5, $7 to go to AAU game. But now these days, it's like $15, $20, $25. But these young men have always been worth it. Out of Georgia prospects, one is from STL, but both of them are Georgia-raised athletes, which I always tell people all the time, man, Georgia is like one of the most perfect stomping grounds for athletes. If you have a serious athlete, if you're serious, you want to get exposure, you're in a city that may not be as a big market, I always suggest that people bring your child to Georgia. Bring them to the A. You can't go wrong. But listen, man, I'm not going to keep y'all waiting, man. Let's get ready to bring our guest on tonight, man. What's going on, guys?
What's going on? How you doing?
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Mr. Jaron Thames of Missouri Western State University with the yellow hoodie on. And at the bottom of the screen, Mr. Zawdie Jackson at West Georgia. The infamous West Georgia, man. What y'all been up to, man?
Shoot, nothing much hooping for real.
Nothing much,
That's
just
what's
trying
up.
to win, right? Trying to win.
Yeah.
So Zawdie, I'm gonna start with you first, man. I want to congratulate you because you just won the Bevo Francis Award, and that's a watch list, man. Tell us a little bit about that, man. What have you done to even earn that award? What does it take? What's the criteria?
So basically, I learned about it today at about 12 o'clock when I was just, getting ready for my day. It's a watch list for the top 100 players that are not on the D1 level. So it's the best award for basically small college basketball as they claim it. So D2, D3, NAIA, and anything lower than that, basically, it's a watch list for the top 100 players. The top 100 players at the time. So I got that based off my stats.
And basically, you out there, your stats, man. You running at what is it, 20 and what you run? You average 20 points a game. Is it 5 assists?
Yes, sir. 20 points a game, 5 assists, and we're 14-2. That's all that matters.
That's what's up. What's up? Well, man, I remember when you was young, man. Like I told Rock, man, when I first met you, when y'all was with Health, man, the one thing that I said about you, dude, you are a high IQ player. Even when you was young, and both of y'all were kind of like ahead of the curve. But like I say, Zawdie, back in the day, boy, you used to control that team. You knew the floor, you knew the plays. You was always a great communicator. So it's not a mistake or a mystery that you've gotten to the level that you have. But I congratulate you, man. Now, I know on your journey, let's see, you once went to out of high school, you attended Southwood High School before transferring to Shiloh. And I know during your tenure in high school, as far as the summer ball circuit, you played with Stackhouse Elite.
Yes, sir. That's correct.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about that time, the high school transition to AAU. Tell us a little bit about the time. What was like one of the hardest things to deal with that grind?
As you know, high school is very different from AAU. So I played on a circuit team, and there was three circuits: Nike, Adidas, and Under Armour. And I think New Balance has one now, but when I was coming around, it wasn't that. But it's Nike, Adidas, and Under Armour, and circuit teams are really like the top players in your area. A lot of D1 guys, a lot of high caliber guys. So as we talked about in high school, like I don't want to say I was the man, but a lot of things really ran through me. I played 4 years varsity, started 4 years. Sophomore year, I averaged about 18 a game. So, I really had the ball in my hands. But circuit ball, it's like the whole team is full of good players. And at Stackhouse, I feel like it was so many good players that I never really got to do what I needed to do. But it was a good experience. I learned a lot, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. But another thing most people don't know is I also played for Atlanta Celtics when I was in ninth grade.
That's
It
right.
was it was coached by Coach Dickinson, the late great. He was one of my
Shout
favorite
out to
coaches
Coach
ever.
Dickerson, EIE.
RIP Coach
That's what's up.
Dickinson. But yeah, that was a great team. But yeah, AAU is just a lot different from high school. Like I played with a lot of great players. And high school was really more of my show. Try to lead the team, do whatever I can, and AAU was just a lot of good players. We just trying to get a win, so my role wasn't as big.
Now, I understand your father was a coach as well too, correct?
Yeah, my father coached me and really trained me most of my life.
So the one thing that I find fascinating about your game is, man, what was it about you? You just picked the game up naturally. What was it about picking up the game? It just came natural to you. You never was a selfish player. Like I said, yeah, you had high IQ. Your IQ was higher than a lot of grown men I played ball with. Like, what was the clicking moment for you as a kid?
Um, Honestly, I would never say I had a clicking moment. It was just I love basketball. Like if I turn to the light right now, I'm watching basketball right now. Like I've always been like that. I watch basketball day in, day out, rain, sleet, or snow. And both of my parents are big Kobe Bryant fans, so I grew up kind of watching basketball and watching them. But now I rather watch basketball than anything in the world. So I feel like the more you watch, the better you'll get, the better you'll understand. So it wasn't really a
That's
click
solid.
moment.
That's solid. That's solid, man. That's what's up. Rock. What's going on, nephew?
What's good? What's good?
So this past weekend, man, you were just honored and recognized, man, for scoring 1,000 points. And I know as well you come out of South Gwinnett before you transition back home to Trinity High School, where you had a great run. I know as far as the AAU circuit, I know you played for Southern Stampede, Georgia Stars, Louisville Magic on the Gauntlet, and eventually I remember you played with Coach Greg and then with Team Power. And I understand both of you two came up in the game together when you both played with Health Man out of Snellville. Tell me a little
Yeah.
bit about your journey, man, and how it was coming up, man.
So coming up, I feel like I was born to play basketball. So you know what I'm saying? Like just coming up, I feel like I always had a natural niche with just the ball being in my hands. You know what I'm saying? I've been playing since I was 6. So it didn't matter where I was at, as long as I had the ball in my hand, I was straight. So like coming up, I just had to like find myself. You know what I'm saying? Find my niche or whatever on the court. You know what I'm saying? Because it's different. Like you said, like high school, AAU, it can be different. But I just had to find my niche really.
That's solid. That's solid. Now, the one thing that I would ask you is what was the biggest difference that you noticed transitioning back from Georgia back home to St. Louis as far as like the field of play? What was one of the biggest difference, or is there a difference?
I'll say the biggest difference is like the hype around. Like I say Georgia is better. It's just it's bigger. Like it's like more players that's like you know what I'm saying. They got that dog in them for real, for real. Like when I moved back to St. Louis, it was like a little different. It was like a select few. Like it was like 3 like people that had it. That's why like it was able for me to transition pretty well when I came to St. Louis. So it
Yeah,
was just a little easier to like transition because I say like Georgia just got more dogs down there down south.
yeah. Coach Rico, man, was commenting in the section, man. I think Zawdie, I think you know Coach Rico, man, over there at Jumpman Health, man. He just commented in, man, encouraging y'all and stuff like that, man. Shout out to you, Coach Rico, man. He's even training the girls, man, with my softball team, man. He's a great athletic. He's a pillar in the community of Snellville and Stone Mountain and abroad. We appreciate you, and you know what? He's at Shiloh now too, Zawdie. So
Yep.
I don't know if you knew that, but the coach was checking in. So listen. With that being said,
Shout out
now
to
I know
Coach.
you two came up in the grind together, man. Give me one of the best basketball moments you two experienced on the court together, whether it was at a major tournament, whether it was a moment where y'all was getting lit. You know, what city was it in? Was it tournament? Because I know around that time you still had, what is it, YBOA?
Yeah,
Yeah. What do you think? What would you say you two's greatest memory that you can recall, just right out the top of your head?
I'll say my greatest memory was nationals when I was in 10th grade. Zodie was in 9th grade. We
Yeah.
had just so look, we had just lost the Final Four game, and the night before. So I mean, so that night we had went out. That night we had went out because we was playing for third and fourth, and we didn't really care about third and fourth, so we had went out. And Coach Kenny, and shout out Coach Kenny, he had went off on us right before the game, and he benched the whole starters, and he started to bench that game.
Oh yeah.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite memory. So
Man, you know y'all. I
I
know
say
y'all wild,
nationals.
man. I remember you was down here last time. Zodie was outside getting lit. I
Yeah.
love, I love y'all brotherhood, man.
I was gonna say I'm
Um,
excited to see my boy.
Zodie, what would you say was the toughest team that you had to play against in high school, and what was the toughest team that you had to play against in AAU?
Oh, this is pretty easy. I tell people this all the time. In high school, I was say a player and then a team. The player was Ashton Hagen.
Okay.
He went to Kentucky
Newton
and
High School. Oh
Newton
yeah, he
High
went to
School.
Kentucky.
Yep. And they had really their entire starting five was going D1. I was playing against him as a freshman, so that was pretty tough. And he's a
Isaiah
point guard
Miller.
as well, going to Kentucky. He's 6'4". He got a dude who could between the legs in high school on his team, so that team was a lot to deal with. And then another team that was really hard for me was my senior at Solo was Grayson. They
Grayson,
had a
the G.
stacked team, and you know how
Hey,
Grayson
but
get.
you know, and you know the thing about Grayson, they say everybody came from like Shiloh and South Gwinnett. You know, with the teams
And
that
then
was
they
built,
moved to Grayson. That's
and
how
then
it
they
goes.
moved to
Yeah.
Grayson.
That's how it
Yeah.
That's crazy. I didn't realize that with the football team, they was like, "Yo, Pop, do you know a lot of these kids came from South Gwinnett?" So, you know, shout out to
Yeah.
South Gwinnett, man. Grayson, you know, we sorry about that, but you know, it is what it is. Rock, what
Yeah.
about you, man?
I'll say, see, this is a little different for me because I played JV freshman, so you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying, the Georgia teams, but I say high school wise, I say Bashan, just because they was the whole start five was going D1 too. They had Rio, he was
Yeah,
going to Mizzou, Cam was going to Kentucky,
Cam. Yeah,
Kobe was going to
Yeah.
Georgetown. Like they had a squad, but like, and there was like a lot of hype behind it too. Because like the first game we played on, we really should have won for real, but like the
that shit
refs
all
had,
that's on YouTube, bro. That went viral
yeah,
on YouTube.
yeah, the refs had called a little foul or whatever. So like that's why I said Coach McCall probably thought the game was gonna be a little sweet. So when we played them in the quarterfinals, it was a different
They
story.
took it to y'all, all right.
So yeah,
But you,
I say the V, the V fight, yeah, the toughest.
I'm gonna tell you like this, and I say this all the time because I actually tried to come home for that game. There is no way in my mind if you had a lot of your teammates and nothing against the Trinity guys. Shout out to Rashad and the football guys that they claimed that y'all needed back in St. Louis. I was unaware of it, but it was such a big deal. I knew about it down here in Georgia. But you ain't gonna tell me that if you had Zawdie, Gerald, Courtney, Tashawn, who else? Naeem. There's no way in hell y'all lose that game. No
Then
way in
when
hell y'all lose that
Naeem had
game.
left, didn't he? Naeem left, didn't
Naeem had left, but just what y'all had coming up. Because I think Naeem was at
he? Yeah,
Mountain View. I think he went
Yeah,
to
he
Mountain
went to
View.
Mountain View. Yep.
But if y'all
yeah,
take
yeah,
y'all original squad because y'all came up on the big stage as youngsters, you know, and like you
yeah,
say, Georgia is a major market. It's a big stage. So
yeah.
a rowdy crowd would have been nothing to them. As a matter of fact, it'd have been like a pit bull on red meat. It wouldn't have done nothing but incite y'all to go out there and really play. But Vashawn had a whip. And I watched that game. There was a lot of questionable games, but you know what I say about sports, it's always a narrative. And the
Yeah.
more popular team, the team that's got the D1 guys going, they pretty much gonna get the edge every time. But let's not you know, I'm not gonna shit on the V because I'm from the Lou and Vashawn, they have a royal history. So shout out to Vashawn. But that particular game, if you had your comrades, bro, out of Georgia, I have no doubt in my mind y'all would have blew them out. It wouldn't even been close. So, but it's just one of them things, you know. It's kind of like with your Uncle Alex back in the day when they played Vashawn, man. I don't know why history keeps repeating itself. I wanted to suit up and go out there and play.
Yeah.
So now, as we all can remember, man, and see, to me, man, when y'all was in high school around that time of that era, and maybe because I'm older now and all of y'all out of high school, my kids out of high school, I think that's one of the best times that basketball was lit in the state of Georgia. It was one of the best times that football was lit in the state of Georgia, and it has not been the same since most of y'all peers and y'all class group have left. With that being said, people always get off into this grind and everybody talk about the D1, the D1. I want to go D1. That was everybody's. That was just like the apple of their eye, D1. Now, however, with you two being a D1 talent, you're both in D2 schools. Since being at a D2 college, is there anything that you learned to be truth or something that you found out to be false that you thought was the truth going to a D2 school?
I'll say I'll say the atmosphere, like up here, like I say the atmosphere, like we had a couple games where it was like better than like small D1s where we had a full crowd, packed house. So I say like at the atmosphere is misjudged D2.
It's about
Yeah,
the same.
mine would be similar because I don't know if y'all ever been to West Georgia, but our gym is bigger than some small D1 colleges gym. So
Right.
it
I've
was
been
just a
out there.
misunderstanding. Yeah, it was just really just a misunderstanding. You know, growing up as D1 or nothing, but some D2s are actually better than some D1s as far as facilities and
Yeah,
resources and things of that nature. So I would just say like a misjudgment, not knowing that some
yeah,
D2s
Yeah.
really
Well,
really are
well, well,
nice,
let's, well, when you look at history, I think my guy, what was his name, Jalen Morris, he went to, he went to like I think it was Malloy College. I think it's like a D2, D3, but he actually, was and he ended up getting to the league. He played for the Hawks, he played for the Bucks, and I think
Mm.
his last stop was with the Spurs. Or when you look at greats like Charles Oakley, Ben Wallace, NBA champion Ben Wallace with the Detroit Pistons, they both went to Virginia Union, which is a HBCU. And
Yep.
then let's look at Duncan Robinson with the Miami Heat. I happen to think he's a great player. He went to a D3 school, Williams College, before he got to Michigan. So the old stigmatism, if you don't go D1 is nothing, that's out the window because the cream rises to the top. There's a lot of guys in the league, man, that didn't go to D1 schools that coming out of D2 and D3s that's doing their thing. Damian Lillard, one of the top guys in the league, and who the hell ever heard of Weber State before he blew up? So I encourage
Exactly.
y'all, man, just
yeah.
to keep
Exactly,
pushing and
exactly.
keep grinding. Yeah, man. It's one thing that I've learned. The kids that you think gonna make it never make it, right? The one kid everybody just touted that they was gonna do this and do that, they never make it, right? And they find out when they do go to these top D1 schools, they're not mentally prepared to deal with it. That you might be lower on the depth chart than you thought, but the coach didn't tell you that. So I think that what's meant for you is meant for you, and that if don't nobody else learn anything from this show and understand with you two having this experience, man, and going through it, that don't think because you don't go to a Power 5 you can't make it to professional ball, right?
Yeah.
So, Zawdie, let me ask you, man, what are your plans, man, once you graduate, when you finish school?
When I graduate, I'm gonna be honest. I want to pursue a professional career. A guy during COVID, I met a guy I like to call like a big brother, like a big brother figure to me because I don't really have a big brother. I got a little brother. Shout out to Zaron, but
Little
he,
big brother.
yeah, he bigger than
That's
me,
all
but
right.
yeah,
That's what he's solid.
yeah, but he has a professional career right now. He bounces around country to country, and he just showed me like how to work out and the work ethic. And he was just like basically give me motivation that's possible, and he gonna look out for me in any possible way. So I'm like, all right, that's what I want to do. Like that's how I want to provide for my family one day. And everybody says NBA is the end all be all, but people don't really know there's a lot of overseas leagues that are paying some good money for some American basketball players.
Yeah,
That's what I'm trying to pursue in life. So I'm going as
And it's
hard as I
getting
can and
bigger.
confident getting as good as I can
Man,
get before I gotta graduate.
shoot for NBA Africa, man. I was just talking to my good brother Calvin Heat. We talk a lot about the politics with sports and basketball. Man, it's so many opportunities overseas, man. I think back in the day, people felt like if they didn't make it to the NBA, it's a failure. That's absolutely incorrect. There are guys who have had great careers, made great money overseas, right? As well as picking up, some other multicultural things that they can add up under their belt. Rock, man, what sayeth you?
I'm at to say the same. I want to play pro ball. I feel like I got a good opportunity. I've been talking to a few people playing overseas, uh, places like Brazil,
Yeah.
places like Costa Rica, stuff like that.
Okay.
So I feel like I want to play pro ball. It can be overseas, G League, just what I'm saying, professional basketball is my next step.
All right. What's the one thing that you both have learned, man, from high school to the college ranks? What's the one thing that you do better now that you didn't do as well in high school? Start with you first, Adi.
Off the bat, it's easy shooting. Like I feel like I can shoot a lot better now. And as Ron could attest to, I'm more athletic. Like high school, not athletic. Like I was just smart, like you said. I just had an IQ, but now I'm low key fast and quick and explosive. I try
I
to use
never
that
didn't
to
think
my
you
advantage.
wasn't. I agree with everything you just said. Just watching you as a spectator, as a coach, and somebody that's got genuine love for you. I think that you were just so calibrated in controlling the game, you just never really turned up and let loose. So I think at the college level, man, good coaches, man, will bring out the best in the player and make you even better than you was. You know what I mean, in certain areas. But that's good to know, man, because if you're trying to play pro ball, man, you got to do everything that to make your stock rise. You understand what I'm saying? So that's good to hear.
Exactly. Sure.
Rock. What about you?
I'm gonna definitely have to say athleticism. High school, you know
Thanks.
what I'm saying? I didn't start dunking for real until I was about a junior. So like I say I was a late bloomer when it comes to like athleticism, like
Mm,
speed. quickness, first step, stuff like that, strength, taking bumps. So yeah, I say athleticism.
That's what's up. So, as far as the mental aspect of the game, what have you learned mentally that makes you feel a much more better player when you're competing in during the game situation? What's the one thing? What's the one mental component that you go on the floor with that you didn't have in high school, Zawdie?
Right off the bat, it's mindset. You gotta believe. You gotta believe you're better than the next person. You gotta believe you were a killer. You gotta just believe that you can go do whatever you want to put your mindset to do. Like, I feel like in high school, sometimes I would lack confidence. I would doubt myself, even though I was putting the work in. And now I just don't do that. I trust in my work. I believe in my work, and I let my performance do the talking.
Zawdie, did you just say at times you was nervous?
Oh no! I'm never nervous. I've been playing basketball my whole life. It's just I
Oh, I
wasn't
was gonna
confident.
say
Oh no, you know I'm
confidence,
not
man.
nervous.
I'm shocked to hear you say that. I've never seen you. Sometimes you can tell when a player don't have confidence. I've never seen that in you. You hit it. If that's the case, you hit it good, boy. Rock, what's the one thing that what's the one mental component that you use nowadays? I know earlier when I text you tonight, you said y'all were watching film. So what are the things what are the tools that you've learned as far as the mental aspect of the game that you're going to carry on to improve your game that you pretty much wasn't doing in high school?
I say you gotta do the little things like just like you said, like film. You just gotta do film. You gotta take care of your body. You gotta work out. Like it's a lot that goes with it. So I just say maturity. Really, you just gotta mature and you know what I'm saying. Just go with the flow.
That's what's up, man. So man, listen, man, y'all boys, wow, man. So AAU is a lot of fun, and I think most players will tell you that a lot of stories that they have, they come amongst the AAU ranks, right? Both of y'all, give me the funniest incident that you experienced or that you remember during y'all AAU days. Zawdie, I'll start with you. No, Rock. I'm gonna go with Rock first. Rock, you go first this
Oh,
time.
that. So you said the funniest.
The funniest thing.
I say the funniest thing was it's a lot. It's a lot of stories. I say the funniest memory I say was when Jalen hit the game winner. When Jalen hit the game winner on Georgia Stars, we played Arm Five.
Oh,
That was probably one of
that
the
was
funniest.
funny.
It was funny because it was just the whole like before we played them, we didn't think we was gonna win. Like you remember
Yeah,
that game?
I
Like
remember
we
that game. I
See, but
remember
I
that game.
wasn't there. That's the one game
That
I
was lit.
missed.
Yeah, hey,
that
but you know what though? You know what's crazy, Zawdie? Your dad, like we
He
called
told me
timeout. Your
about
dad
it.
came
Yeah.
around and told us to file that
he
big
was
dude because me
he
and
was
Jay, man,
coaching.
we
He
was
was
in the game,
coaching.
but that was coaching. If your dad didn't tell us that, we would have lost that game because it worked. Because Big Boy, he was like what, Rock? He was like 6'9", 6'10". Man,
Yeah,
that boy couldn't hit the side of a barn with a beach ball, boy.
cause
But
like
yeah, your
Oh
dad made
man.
that call. But that was a
it was
hell of a game, bro. Like,
yeah, it was just
and then we
crazy. It was
gonna
just
go around and then the next day we lose them. But
yeah.
That's what I
Hey,
heard. I heard the next day I lost some bums.
I had 40 though. I had 40. I had 40 that
40?
game.
yeah, Rock
I,
went
I went
stupid that
I
game,
went
bro.
crazy that game. We still lost. I was
Rock
like,
went stupid
oh,
that game, yo. They could not stop Rock, bro. He went stupid that game. I had to lean on Rock, and I'm gonna give Chase his props. Chase put in a lot of work that game because he had to
Chase.
bang with that big boy, and Chase was damn near a foot shorter than that dude. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
Chase was really slept though for real. Like
Yeah,
he was a
he really had,
Yeah,
he really
yeah.
was.
he was
Y'all
a
know
good
Chase went to my
big.
Yeah.
school?
Yeah,
But
he was a good
we
big,
wasn't
bro.
wasn't that Mo Williams that played with the Cleveland Cavaliers? Wasn't that his team? That was his organization,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
he was there.
Hey, Zaddy, them boys some dogs too, man. That's the beautiful thing about sports. Y'all really won that game mentally because they were very intense. They could have been. Hold on, man. I think my rice burned. Hold on one second.
That game was crazy, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro.
Oh, yeah, it was crazy, bro. That's the one game I missed,
Them
bro.
the health fan days, though.
Fact.
That's crazy, ain't it?
Yeah, y'all know Chase go to my school. He
What's the name? Why,
graduated from here.
Huh?
Kobe Cameron. He said what?
Yeah, I said Chase
Yo, man, your
graduated
boy
from
learning
here.
how to cook. I ain't quite got it down yet, man. I was like, man, what that burn? I done burned my damn right, boy. But
Oh
anyway, man,
man,
it's all good. I'd rather burn that right if I
Chase
burn
went
the
there.
house.
He
Yeah,
went to
Jay
your
Huh?
went to
school?
my school. Yeah.
He who? They ain't let him.
Nah, he ain't want to who. He just
Yeah.
got his degree. He already graduated.
You talking about at West Georgia, right?
Yeah, Chase 1 year graduated, all that.
I seen Chase said he played in the Showtime's Men Basketball League maybe about a couple of summers ago or whatever. He was
Okay,
in town, but I
okay.
forgot who he played with. But yeah,
Nah,
man.
he.
But that game when we played against RM5, it was crazy because the next day the team that we lost to was trash, and they only had this one white boy that could really ball and put it up, and he was limping. And y'all remember EJ? EJ used to always think he was tough. You know what I'm saying? I said, EJ, that's your assignment because I need a rock for offense, right?
Right.
By this
Yeah.
time, man, that game got stupid. And remember, Rock, your dad got ejected.
Yeah.
They ejected your dad from the game, so I had to take over.
Whoa.
Yeah.
We could have
I
won
remember
that
that.
game,
I
but I
remember
lit
that.
it to y'all. Boy, I lit it to them so tough that day, Zawdie. It ain't even funny. I told AJ, and see, I had a player like that in GBL that was always tough, wanted to fight his teammates, but when it came to playing them boys, and playing that other demographic, they punk out every time. So I'm like, bro, don't you ever come to my
Hey,
practice to play tough again?
I
Because I saw it.
I got another little memory though. I got another little crazy little memory. I remember at 8th grade, Zawdie and I thought they was gonna beat us. 7th grade, 8th grade. They thought they was gonna beat Grace Snell.
Oh,
We
that's funny.
we
That's funny, bro.
we wasn't going. We was they
I didn't
had a
even think you
squad though.
remembered that, bro.
They had a squad. They had a squad, but they was young though. You know what I'm saying? They couldn't compete. You know what I'm saying?
And you know them
That's
Grayson
another
L.
that's
Snail
another little memory
athletes.
though.
Dang, I
That's
forgot
another.
Shamar. I forgot
We
about
had a
Shamar. I forgot to mention Shamar too,
we
man.
really had a squad. We had Shamar, we had Jack, we had
Yeah,
Naheem, we had Antoine.
yeah.
Nah, y'all team was better than our team.
Listen. Naeem got a national championship with UConn. Shout out
Yeah, that's crazy.
Naeem. Shout out
Yeah,
Naeem, boy.
yeah, that's
He at
crazy.
St.
That's
John's
crazy.
now. He was at Virginia Tech
Mm,
and then UConn and St. John's. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my boy Davion too out of Grayson, man. Was with Georgia Tech, Mississippi State. Now I think he's in Utah. NCAA, they kind of tripping with his eligibility, but I'm pretty sure he'll bounce back pretty strong. But I'm telling you, man, Gwinnett County was just so tough around that time. The only other schools that really could compete with Gwinnett County, in my opinion, was McEachern, Newton County. I'm talking about schools
Yeah.
outside of Gwinnett. And I really, what DeKalb County school was really banging. I don't think Miller Grove was like that anymore. I think
not
Southwest
when we
DeKalb
was in high
girls,
school. Right.
yeah, but the Southwest DeKalb girls, which they went to DeKalb County, I think they could have given anybody in 7A a run. Archer, because that's our girls, Grayson girls could not beat Archer and they could not beat Newton. But I think Southwest DeKalb girls, I truly believe that they could go to Gwinnett and run the tables. I truly do, except when it
Yeah.
come to Norcross.
Yeah. I'm saying Norcross and Arkansas had the best girls to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, Norcross always, yeah.
So let's say, man, in the near future, the far off future, I'm sorry, and your career starts to go downhill. Do either one of y'all have aspirations to coach?
You go
Uh,
first.
yeah, I look into it because this past summer, I was, training kids or whatever. So like, it was just cool seeing the progress, seeing the type of kids get better. It was,
Oh yeah.
yeah, it was a good little experience. So, I mean, I look into it.
Yeah, I was thinking the
Okay.
same thing. Like in the summertime, I train kids because my dad recently opened up a gym.
That's what's up.
Shout out to 247 EST. So I train kids in the summer. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Like you said, like seeing a development, like not being able to do something 1 week and keep working at it.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, in 3 weeks they could do it perfectly. Like that's cool to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, y'all know how it is. When y'all start coaching, y'all gonna see all the stuff we used to deal with coaching. Gonna be like, man, now I see what coach was talking about. So
It's a little frustrating for sure.
Yeah,
yeah. All right, y'all. I gotta hit y'all with this question before we get up out of here, man. I'm gonna start with Rock first. Rock, who is the GOAT?
I'm gonna have to say Brian.
And why do you say that?
I mean, look, it's just he's 39 right now. Still, I give you 30. Like, he's been doing it since he was 18. He came in the league doing the same thing. So I feel like longevity got to play a part.
What's your take on the in-season tournament? Do you think that was a fluke? Because LA ain't played like that since, and I
I'm
called it on social media, but
Nah,
they said I was cap.
I'm gonna
they
be honest.
suck now.
I think it was
Exactly.
rigged. Yeah, I think it was rigged because I ain't gonna lie. The Lakers bracket was they played
It was
Portland.
sweet.
It was sweet. They played Portland, Utah, and like it was another like Memphis. It was like without Ja. Like
Yeah, there were some
you
bad
got
teams in there.
it's
So y'all
easy to
don't
come
do
out
y'all
there.
believe that the NBA got a magnetic ball like the NFL got a magnetic ball? Because LeBron wasn't missing nothing. Only Steph is the only player that we know legit can hit that shot. LeBron was not missing that day. And I ain't saying LeBron is a bad shooter, but come on, bro. Like, we ain't seen that performance since they won. But that's just me. That's just me. Zawdie, who's your GOAT? Who's the GOAT?
I gotta go with Brown. Y'all
For
say
It
real?
gotta
y'all,
be
And that's
y'all,
what I be trying to tell
but
my
y'all
it gotta
well,
say
be
go
he can't
John.
ahead.
score. Y'all say
It's
y'all say he can't
generational,
score.
man.
He leads the NBA in all-time scoring. We already know he can pass better than Kobe and Mike. We already know he get rebound better than Kobe and Mike, and he always play defense. Come on now, he
Yeah.
does. You
Ooh.
know,
And
He ain't
see,
guard right now though. He ain't
it's
guard right
it's
nah,
now.
he
it's
not playing D right now.
interesting.
He 40. Come on, bro, he 40.
It's interesting because this is what I be trying to tell a lot of guys from my peer group. It's generational. Like, I think you have GOATs, and I think you have GOATs, GOTE, greatest of that era. Because if you was to ask somebody my age, maybe just slightly older or younger, they gonna say it's Jordan. But my GOAT is Bill Russell.
Good take.
I mean,
That's my GOAT, man. You know what I'm saying? And for various reasons. I would say, my top players, like I would say my top three players that I honor and respect. We just gonna take Mike. I like Mike Bibby and Chauncey Billups. Those are like two of my favorite players. By the way, Light the Beam, and I see my man in the comments talking trash, Light the Beam. But I would say Chauncey Billups, Mike Bibby, and Bill Russell. Those are like my top three players of all time. I think Bill Russell is the GOAT. However, if I was to really give honorary mention, it would definitely be Craig Hodges and Mahmoud Abdul Rauf, formerly known as Chris
he gets
Jackson, for what he had to go through. Yeah, he was the first pioneer, to come along to stand for justice. So getting out of here, man. Last question, man. Who are your top three players of all time, Rock?
all time.
All time. I know one of them already.
I'm out Rondo. You know Rondo.
Rondo.
I would love Rondo.
He don't. He got the
Rondo.
jersey and everything.
All time. I'm gonna say Rondo. I'm gonna say
I would just okay. That's asking a lot. I would just say, who are your top three players
top three
in the
players
league?
in the league right now.
Yeah.
All right, right now I'm gonna have to say it's just me. You know what I'm saying? I be getting a lot of heat. I be getting a lot of heat up here for. I say Tatum. I think Tatum top three.
Hometown. Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah, from the
I
same
say
place.
Giannis, and give me a big. That's
What?
top three.
That's your top three?
That's my top three.
Jokic,
Jokic, Jokic's tough, but it's just like how he played the game. It's just like I'd rather have Giannis, Tatum, and Big.
But you can't really size those guys up because they're not really matching up with guys they own size every night. So they it comes easy, man. Like as opposed to somebody that's like 6'4", 6'5", like they got to get it out the mud.
For real.
That is true.
Zawdie, who your top three?
Man, my top three is no big, all dogs. We got number one is Kyrie. I model my game. Well, I try to model my game for him. And then the next one is Shea. Like I just like how smooth he is. And he shoot a lot of mid range. I feel like everybody shoots a lot of threes.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of the mid range and step backs and fadeaways and And then the last one, Ant-Man.
Hey,
Ant-Man,
I go with that. I would say, and y'all
show
played with Ant-Man.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But Ant, some guys, man, it's just some guys. It's just in the cards for them. You know what I mean? Ant-Man, he just one of those guys. LeBron, it's just in the cards for some of these guys. That's what it is. But I would say my top three is definitely Ant-Man, Tatum, and it's gonna always, as long as he putting on the suit, Kyrie. Kyrie is the best ball handler I ever seen.
I ain't gonna lie. I gotta show love to Ja. I gotta show some love to Ja.
Ja. He can't even shoot.
He hurt.
He hurt, but Ja can't shoot.
That Ja effect, that's real. That's a real effect.
That's real. No count.
You know what? You're right. Because when he came back to get the Pelicans, and you know what? I called the Pelicans out, man, as being a sleeper team, and look at what they're doing. I called out the Pelicans, and I think Houston, when Jalen and what's my guy from Atlanta? Jabari, when they
Yeah.
really understand the game and get it together, get their confidence, Houston's gonna be a problem. You just got to be patient. You got a lot of people that's impatient with these young men. You know what I mean? Like I think Jabari's gonna be all right if Houston just stick with Jabari. If Houston stick with Jalen Green and they got some veterans. They got Fred VanVleet and who else they got?
Brooks.
They got Brooks, Dylan Brooks. So that right there could be a good chemistry, man. And they got what's that? How you pronounce his name? Sengunju.
Sagoon, yep.
Yeah, that white boy, man, he's a goon.
He's
Like
cold.
he's no just like Sabonis. I'm wearing Sabonis' jersey now. Somebody told me, why you wearing that white boy jersey? Cause he tough. Sabonis don't get his props, bro. Like he's one of the reasons why the Kings are successful, man.
Where y'all at in the West right now? Where y'all in
Man, shit, we like number 5, man. Like we not the team we was
last year?
like the beam. We not like we was last year, man. Like, so I don't know what's really going on. But I've been a Kings fan all this time. And I ain't gonna switch because the reason why people are like, why you a Kings fan? Because you know what? If you look at the league is an entertainment brand. It's like the NFL. Every team has a superstar. The Kings, even with Bibby, Vlade, Weber, Pager, which is one of the most underrated 3-point shooters of all time, and Turkoglu, bro, we won by committee. And even though all of them were good, you couldn't say we just didn't have a superstar. We had a squad. And we won by committee, man. And don't forget Doug Christie, Bobby Jones, So we was those guys, and we didn't had a lot come through, man. We should have been winning more, especially when we had Marcus Cousins. We didn't had Marvin Bagley, which I never looked at Marvin Bagley as that guy. We've had a lot of talent come through Sacramento, man, but we just never could put it together. Now look at that boy Halliburton in Indiana. We had Halliburton in Sacramento, so. Everybody can't put on this black and purple, bro.
But I feel like Fox, you know what I'm saying? I feel like Fox can be considered. He's not a superstar, but he could be.
He close.
In the conversation.
Right.
Like he averaging 30.
He close, but man, he been in the league. Man, when did Fox come in the league? Was it 2013? He been in the league at least 9 to 10.
He's young. He can't.
Yeah, but
like 5 years.
But he should have produced. But we got 2 Kentucky products, man. We got Monk and we got Fox and we got Lyles. So we got a squad, bro. You know what I'm saying? Which I believe that this is just my personal opinion. Nobody seems to agree, but I believe if he start Monk instead of Barnes, bring Barnes off the bench, man, I think our record will look a lot better because when he comes in, like y'all talk about the Ja effect, when Malik Monk comes in the game, he's effective. When they came to Atlanta, he's the reason why they won when they came to Atlanta, because really Atlanta should have the Hawks should have beat the Kings that night. But I told them, I'm talking shit to all these Hawk fans. I'm like, listen, if we in within 10 points by the fourth quarter, we're gonna win this game, and we won the game. So
hey, now how you feel about Wemby though? I know y'all been seeing it.
I think Wemby. I think the league is doing it more so than Wemby, right? They're like really pumping this kid because again, the leagues are entertainment. You got to have people watching. You got to have somebody that people want to pay to see.
Somebody paying for it.
Yeah,
that's true.
All the big men in my era, he wouldn't survive with Shaq, Karl Malone, Larry Johnson, Patrick Ewing. No,
I feel like he hooping though. For a rook.
He hooping some nights. Other nights, 7 points. 10 points.
I feel like what would change his game, he has to do something with that body.
Nah,
and I understand how bodies are. It's just like with boxers, you put on certain weight, man, it affects their power, it affects their speed. But Wemby got to do something with that body, bro. He's too tall and too thin to be effective. Now, the one thing about him that I've never seen when it comes to like NBA players, like that dude is going to block a ball. You cannot go in the key. You have to really float that bitch over him. Other than that, he's gonna get that ball, bro.
Yeah,
as soon as he learn how to.
I ain't gonna lie, his movement, like he's moving like that, like he's 7'5", moving like that. So like that's what I'm saying. Like once he get his body right, I feel like he could be nice. Like he could be next up for real.
Yeah, you give him time because he's 7'5" or something like that.
Yeah, he's something crazy.
That's crazy. You can't go if he go up for a jump shot. Who the hell's gonna block that?
Nobody.
So I think that I think if anything else, man, he really kind of needs to pattern his game behind the Kevin Durant because Kevin Durant is like the first 7-footer we've seen ball like that. When most 7-footers his height, they playing the 5. Kevin Durant's running the 2 and sometimes running the 1. But man, listen, man, I've enjoyed this interview, man. I wish you all, man, the best with your careers. Continue on, man. Hang with athletes. Stretch every day. Yoga and water. Yoga and water, y'all. Stretch them bodies out, man. So other than that, man, hey, this is the place where we bring it sexy back to the everyday hardworking men and women who impact your life within close proximity. We want to rise above this madness, which is called Black culture. And I always tell you, the biggest mistake that you can make is to think that you have time, man. And on that, man, we thank y'all for sitting in tonight. And I'm going to have to tell y'all peace.
Love y'all, man. Appreciate y'all.
Love, bro.
Always.
Equality versus equity. Equality means every child gets a pair of shoes. Equity means every child gets a pair of shoes that fit. That means every school district has to meet every student's individual needs.
I'm Jerry O'Green with the Black Student Advocate. We advocate for Black employees and Black students within the K-12 school districts. We hold school districts accountable to make sure that Black students and employees are in a fair and equitable workplace.
Equality versus